Welcome to Home Team Advantage. I'm Gary Gimbetti along with Mike Egan, and we're going to discuss hopefully some positive high school sports.
Yeah, you can discuss all you want after you yelled at me.
Yeah, yeah, you're done for the day now. You're toast. So I'm sure I really hurt your feelings.
Well, if I want to get talked to like that again, I'll get married.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, it's like we've been married here for what,
Yes.
8 years?
8 years.
So, or 7 or 8 years.
Like you
somewhere
always
in there.
said, we have faces for radio.
That's right, but we're on TV. But we'll start with Hibbing football. Unfortunately, they lost 36-0 to Duluth East last Friday. They've given up, I believe, 91 points in the 2 games, and unfortunately haven't scored yet, which we're going to talk about, and hopefully that comes to an end this weekend, because they do host Proctor, which has given up 72 and I think 56. So I think it's 128 points in the 2 teams they played, and they haven't scored yet.
Right.
So if the Blue Jackets offense is going to get going, hopefully this is the day that it gets going against the Rails. So
It's the battle for the on-scoring cup.
well, something's going to have to give, obviously, because
Still isn't that a tie?
Unless it ends 0-0.
0-0.
But and we're not making light of that either, because it's a lot more fun to put the ball in the end zone than to not put the ball in the end zone. And win or lose, at least if you make it a competitive game, you can take something out of that. But they have to get something going. And I haven't talked to Matt yet about what happened last week. So maybe they did get something going. They just couldn't put the ball in the end zone, because we know that they've had issues.
Personnel.
The lack of personnel, and then sometimes when they do get good drives going, they I hate to use this word, but they shoot themselves in the foot with a penalty or a fumble or a turnover. Well, a turnover and a fumble are the same thing. So I'm being redundant, but that's hopefully this weekend is the weekend where they put things together and do the job.
And they are playing at home Friday.
Friday, 7 o'clock.
And it's not like they hadn't had a lot of support out there. But, I mean, it's really nice to see a lot of the students and in our fan base for people that come out, because it helps. Every little bit helps. So.
Well, I'll tell you, the boys soccer team Monday night had one heck of a cheering section. I know they got beat 8-1 by Cloquet, which is the defending 7A champion. Right. So it was a tough game anyway. But they had a lot of support out there. But that was a 7 o'clock game. Yep. So more students had an opportunity to get out and watch the game, and I know they were supporting them 100%. So
soccer looks good out in that field.
It does, and most of your playoff games, I think, are played on turf.
Yep.
So you have to get used to playing on turf, even though we do have, admittedly, we have some really nice grass fields.
Oh, yeah.
Out at Vic Power, probably some of the best around, I would assume. And then we know what happens when you assume, but
yeah. You and me have done that quite a bit.
So. But the boys soccer team they're 0-2-1. So hopefully they can, and I know they have a game Saturday at about 4 o'clock. So we can hopefully put together a win there.
Yeah, because they really haven't scored a lot either. I mean, their offense.
No, they've had they were up 2-0 in their first game against North Branch, and then
they ended up tied. Right?
Tied 2-2. Yeah. And I believe there was 5-0 against Hermantown, and then of course Cloquet beat them
8-1.
Yeah, and Cloquet though was good.
Oh yeah,
they're good. They their speed, they were relentless in getting to the ball, and the Blue Jackets just could not gain possession long enough. But they did have a nice goal. So, Elias Langer, I believe, off a corner kick, had a nice header that he put into the net to make it 3-1 at one point, but then Cloquet kind of ran away from him at the end. Yeah. And the girls, I'm not sure if they've scored yet. I suppose I can find that on here, but it's I think they're 0-5 right now, if I'm not mistaken. But I better check on that and make sure.
It seems like all our fall teams are having a problem scoring and generating any offense, between football, soccer.
Yeah, and I mean soccer's hard enough to generate
Right.
offense in, unless you have like a really good team.
Yeah, well, I can't speak a lot for soccer because I don't really understand the game.
I'm gonna check here and see. If you ever want to look for scores, go to minnesotascores.net. That's the place to.
What would you do without that phone? What happened to the old days when you used to have paper and pencil?
Okay, they're 0-6 right now, unfortunately, and they've put up one goal, two goals.
Okay.
So yeah, both teams have to start, or well, all three teams have to start generating more scoring chances, and
Well, you got to put the ball in the end zone, or you got to put it in the net.
that's right. That's the only way it works.
So hopefully, like I said, tomorrow night the football team can generate some offense and move the ball and put a few points on the board.
And the girls do play tonight at 4:30 at Cheever Field.
Okay.
So if you're looking for something to do, there's a girls soccer game against Denfeld
And that's Doc Owens
at Doc
The
Owens
old
Stadium,
Stadium
Cheever
at Cheever Field. There
Yep.
you go.
So I'll be at that match, and then
Well, maybe I'll bring him some luck.
well, hopefully, I double dip kind of doing the PA
Oh, okay.
for the soccers and the volleyball, and
Who's doing the football PAs now?
Mr. McDonald does that.
Oh, Dad. Good.
Yes.
Still
So
good.
I'm going to check volleyball because we'll go into that next. I know they had a tournament, I believe, down in North Branch this weekend.
I see too the Minnesota State High School League is trying to bring back or looking at possibility bringing back boys volleyball.
That's. I think some schools
Down
have
the
it
cities
already.
has it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have enough students they can. Can you imagine adding volleyball up here or rugby up here?
Well,
And it really would,
you mentioned lacrosse.
or lacrosse. So,
Okay, let's see here. Looks like the volleyball team is 1-7, I think. Is that what it says? Yeah, they beat Deer River to start the year, and now they obviously are on a 7-game losing streak.
That the Twins?
No,
Okay.
but they also. September, that's tonight. Yeah, they play Hermantown tonight here.
At the Lincoln.
And they actually have, 4 straight home games against Greenway, Rock Ridge, and Superior. So hopefully they can. But again, we talked about one of their better players
Broker foot.
broke her foot, and so it's you're leaving it up to I think a sophomore setter if she's not a freshman. I don't know, she might be a freshman too.
Yeah.
But they were playing that 6-2 with her and Bevy, and it was working. Yeah, they didn't win the matches, but they looked really good, I thought, and they had some attack at the net. But then when she goes down, that's going to leave a big hole in that offense for them. So hopefully, Lauren has worked things out, and they're starting to get better at it, and we'll see what happens.
We'll see. They got 4 at home, so that might help.
Yes. So that.
And they're all at the Lincoln, correct?
Yeah. Yes. All those games are at the Lincoln. And then the tennis team is actually at home tonight too at 4:30 or 4 o'clock against Rock Ridge.
It's like tennis weather out there today.
Yeah, boy, they're gonna have a fun time out there with the heat. I mean, that's gonna. It doesn't seem likely that it should be this hot, but that's all right
It's all right.
because we know it's coming in 2 months.
Or sooner.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a big rivalry match between Rock Ridge. Hopefully, they can. They've been getting better as the season has gone on. So hopefully they want to say they lost 7-0 the first time, 7-0 or 6-1. So hopefully they can get a little closer than that. And then obviously you're gonna in the section you might meet them again. But then again in 7AA, Elk River's the team to beat. And,
Right.
I don't think anybody's going to beat Elk River. Doesn't matter how well you play. So,
Well, again, it comes to numbers, and they have them,
oh yeah.
to draw from.
Plus, they have like the #1 rated girls player in the state, I think. So, right there, you're
All right.
giving up a point there. Cross country. They were at the Moray Invite the other day, and the girls won the team title with like 76 points, I believe, and Tara Hertling placed first overall.
Nice.
So Tara's having a fantastic season so far, and there are not that many meets into it. And then I think Avery Kukowski was the second runner. Then Gianna Figueroa was in there, and along with a couple others. A couple others I'm not really familiar with, and I don't remember their names right offhand. But and that was the key coming in, was the depth, and it looks like he's getting
results.
getting
Good.
results out of the kids.
Good.
The boys were second there, and Brady Janicic and Jake Wally were like seventh or eighth and ninth, right back to back in 17:30 something, and then it rounded out there. And I don't remember the rest of the runners. Like we say, we never come into this prepared, and we should. But
Speak for yourself.
well, yeah, okay, maybe you've been online, but I don't think you're online looking at.
I don't even know how to turn on the damn phone. Never let's go online. But I have to admit, I went to my first cross-country meet, and it was kind of sweet. I went over here, watched them run past me, went over there, watched the finish, and I was done.
Yeah, they when they do hold the meets at the municipal golf course, you can pretty much see all the way around that course. I mean, you're far away, obviously, when they're down by the 4th green or the 6th green down there. But
Well, the one I went to was at Eagles Ridge. Is that
Okay.
the golf course out?
that was the meet that I think the girls won that one.
Yes.
Too, as they
Yep.
did, and then they lost one. Brainerd, I'm not sure where they were when Brainerd won. Maybe that was the one Brainerd was at.
I think you're right.
And Brainerd won both the boys and
Yep.
girls meets in that one.
But again, boy, nice golf course. I
No,
haven't
it
been there.
is.
I think the first time I played that's got to be 15 years ago, and with a lot of rocks. If I remember. At least my ball found a lot of rocks.
Well, yeah, that's because we're hitting it. That's because we hit it into them. But yeah, so hopefully, I'm sure they run next week at some point, and hopefully that continues on, because the 7 AA meet is again in Hibbing in October. So
Is that held at Masaba?
at Mississippi Municipal, they'll run
is that the Muni?
Yeah, they'll run
Oh.
the same course they run at the Hibbing Rotary meet.
Okay,
So they'll be obviously familiar with the course.
right.
So they shouldn't have any issues, because they're beating the teams in these other meets that they have to face in the section. So hopefully they stay healthy, and
Right.
and the boys, I tell you, they're making, if they want to get out from under the girls' shadow, they're doing the job.
Good.
So hopefully last year they missed state by like 3 points. They placed third, and
Yep.
this year hopefully that
Changes.
changes. They get second or first at their section. There's a lot of good teams there too. I mean, I think Pequot Lakes is pretty good, and there's a couple other teams that are decent too. So
Well, like you said, it's an individual sport, and it's up to the individuals to produce when they have to. So
and I think it was the boys. It might have been the JV. Boys JV had a perfect score the other day too. At
Oh, wow.
Mora, they placed 1 through 5.
wow, nice.
So there's depth on
The
that
farm team looked good then.
Yeah, so he's got some very good runners. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't usually see 1 through 5 finishes
No,
by many teams, and so that was nice to see when
Good.
I opened up the results.
good.
And there, if you want to find, if you know when they're running, that's athletic.net. And then you just go through all the rigmarole before you get in there. You have to do cross country, high school, then go to the state that you want to look in, and then they have all the sections listed, and then you just drop down to find Hibbing, and you can find their results on there. So at that athletic.net, just like Minnesota scores.
Is that our new sponsor?
No, unfortunately, too bad. Yeah, we can put that back there.
Think they'll send us a check?
The swimmers are doing well. They've won the dual meets that I've been at. They have their invite this weekend, which will probably be 8 teams. And the tennis has their invite this weekend too. So it's funny how
Oh,
all that works out. Where you
and
have
it sounds
tennis.
like the weather will be cooperative for the
Well,
tennis.
It does, and then soccer's at 4 o'clock. So they have 3 things going on this weekend, and the swimmers deserve your support as well
Yep.
as any other. The tennis team deserves your support. Soccer deserves your support. Every sport deserves your support. So
But if you want to go see a Rabbit fan, go to a swim meet.
yeah, it's my watch
Very
goes
interesting.
off. Yeah, my watch goes off. It says it's too loud in there, and I should leave, but I don't have that option. So, and I think that covers
Covers the local high school
that.
sports.
Yeah, the college did the volleyball team first year back in 2 years. They did beat Itasca last week, so they got their first. Travis picked up his first win as coach at the school. So hopefully now things will start getting better for
Good.
them. Cut down on the unforced errors, and you'll be fine. But every team makes errors and
Yep.
mistakes, so we'll see what happens there.
Good. Well, what's next? You want to go pro?
Well, yeah, we
I
probably
know
the
you always-
Gophers.
I know you wanted to go pro.
Well, yeah, the Gophers actually won their first game, beating.
Rhode Island at
Rhode-
Staten Island.
Yeah, Rhode Island. Yeah, so now they play Nevada this Saturday.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they can continue that. They passed the ball 15 times, I believe. When they broke it down, it was 15 times and first down, which is the first time something like that's ever
The
happened.
kid they got a quarterback, pretty good. He's a transfer.
Portal, I'm sure he's a portal guy.
Yeah, he's a portal guy.
So hopefully, they need somebody who can throw the ball around the field. They have the running backs. They have the biggest line, I think, in the country.
both NFL and college.
Yeah. So that should bode well for, their team. And now they got Iowa coming up in 2
Yeah.
weeks.
As long as their coach doesn't screw it up
No.
again like he did the first game.
Yeah, who knows? The Vikings.
You're just worried he's going to kick you out of the boat.
No, I don't. That doesn't really. I'm not on that boat, so I don't have to worry about getting kicked off of it.
And can you answer this for me? And it's way off the subject. What does SKU on the back of a Gopher helmet stand
Sky Uma.
for? Yeah, Sky U Ma. What is-
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe Ron can look it up. And
I thought maybe it was some.
yeah, I have no idea. It's been a tradition there to say that. So I have no idea.
I thought it was
what
row the
means.
boat.
Well, that's PJ's saying.
Oh, okay.
He brings that over. But Sky Uma's been there for quite some time.
How do you spell that?
SKU. MA?
No, it's got to be like SKI Sky U Ma MAH or something.
No.
So that would be if he comes up with something.
Somebody has that. Just send it in on our email. And we'll be able to get it from you.
As far as the pros go,
Vikings.
it was a must-win. I think it was a must-win last week.
Oh, I think it was too, but and luckily they played the Giants, who probably had one of their worst games I've ever seen them play. So,
Well,
and celebrating their 100th anniversary.
yeah, that's not a good way
Come
to
out and lay an
celebrate
egg.
that. So yeah, but they did. They took care of business. I mean, Darnold. I didn't see the game. We were out playing golf at
Yep.
the time, but
He throws a nice ball.
Mhm.
When he gets time to throw it, he throws a nice ball. Yeah, I mean, you didn't get picked third overall if you couldn't do something right. So maybe he's, like you're saying, well, he's in with a good coach now, and he's in with a team that stresses the play of the quarterback more. So we'll see.
well, he's got the talent around him.
Yep.
There's no question. And Aaron Jones had 94 yards
Yep.
and a touchdown in his first game with the Vikings. And what's his name? Jefferson caught that 4-yard touchdown pass. But I heard that 44-yard catch he had on that 99-yard drive was a perfect pitch and catch.
Yep.
So
Yep. No, well, we'll see how good there.
Well, they have
Sunday.
San Francisco.
And
which beat
McCaffrey
the
looks like he
Jets.
might be out.
Yeah, I think he's dealing with some kind of Achilles injury
Yep.
or something, so I don't think he'll be back. But they're still a good team,
Oh, yeah.
so that'll be a test for them. If they can get by that game, who knows?
You watch the Jets and the 49ers? Every time somebody made a mistake, they'd show Aaron Rodgers, and he's rolling his eyes back. He'd go, "Oh, what am I doing here? You can't catch the ball. You fumble." He just, I don't know.
He got pulled.
I know he got pulled. So
Would they get pulled because of poor play or because they were just getting beat?
I think
so
he
bad?
just said, "I've had enough."
Oh, well, they don't want to re-injure
His eyes
him.
were sore.
Yeah, my eyes were sore from being rolled back in the
Yeah,
helmet.
but he's coming off Achilles, and the game was out of reach anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm sure they didn't want to.
And you can't tell me that there wasn't a player on San Francisco that wouldn't have loved to take him out.
Oh.
So,
Matt, possibly.
yeah.
The Twins,
Oh boy, here we go. It's a roller coaster.
well, they were like 17 games over 500 at one point.
Now they're 10.
Now they're 10. Yeah, you're right. You just said it. 10. They're now the third wild card, but they got like a 4 or 5 game lead in that over Boston and Detroit, I think. But
They're-
there's
Their problem is they won 2 in a row now, but so is Cleveland, so is Kansas City. So every team that they're trying to catch wins the same day they do. So
and Kansas City's beating the Yankees, I think.
yeah, babe.
Yeah, babe. Get your Yankees to play a little bit of baseball right now, so we can catch up. But they shouldn't have fallen behind that far anyway. The games and teams they lost to Rocco came out and pretty much laid it all out on the line, which is unbelievable that a manager would do that. But I don't blame him.
Talking about Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, he thought their play was unacceptable, especially against Kansas City.
Yep.
They
Well,
didn't.
did he pick a couple players too and pointed out?
Well, I don't know if he did or not, but maybe it was Royce Lewis. I think Royce Lewis took it pretty hard that his
Yep.
manager came out and said something.
Well, he was 0 for 19 or something like that.
Well, he hasn't been hitting.
He got one last night. Got the big double last night to score 2 runs.
But
Who? I don't even know who half this team is.
no, the pitchers
Pitchers are all
are
AAA guys.
Yeah, and you're not gonna. I'm sorry, but you're not gonna win with guys like that in your rotation.
What happened to like the top 3 starting pitchers they had at the beginning of the year? Do you ever hear of them anymore? I mean, Pablo.
Pablo's got 14 or 15 wins. Bailey Ober's been pitching well.
Yep.
Joe Ryan's got a shoulder thing.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about him. So did the rest of the team.
Yeah, well, right now because he hasn't been around for like a month,
Yeah.
and who knows how serious it is. I mean, I don't know if
Yeah.
it's needs surgery or what the deal is, but there's 3 legit starters,
Well,
and now
Buxton-
you've got Festa and Zebby Matthews.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Matthews only lasted like 3
3 innings last
plus
night.
innings last night, and then they interview him after the game, and it's like, well, why don't you just say I'm not that good? Well, I know he's not going to say that, but
Yeah. I don't belong here.
yeah, who know? I don't know.
And
But-
Buxton's still out.
well, those 2 are supposed to come. Correa and Buxton are supposed to come back here shortly, I guess, from what the story.
Is
I
that
read
going to
the
make
other
a
day.
difference?
Well, offensively, it should. I mean, that's.
I mean, they had a kid playing center field that just got on the bus in St. Paul that yesterday afternoon and drove over.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either. And I don't know how has he done. Have you? Did you
They
watch
said he
it?
looked pretty good.
No, I don't know if he's got his first.
Well, he hasn't got
hit
any
or
hit yet, but
Okay.
he's supposed to be really good defensive player.
Well, yeah. Well, you need those.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But Santana, Carlos, I think it is, isn't it? He's been doing well.
Yeah, he's doing a gig in Vegas now
Yeah,
too.
Carlos. I think it's Carlos. But yeah. Miranda's still doing decent.
She's a country singer.
Brooks Lee is back, so he's playing again.
Yeah.
Julian, I don't know how he's been playing
Yeah.
a lot more, and
Yeah.
I don't know how he's.
He's not a good second baseman.
Well, his fielding leaves little to be desired.
They were pointing out the other night that Brooks Lee, the ball off his bat is the 5th fastest or 5th fastest? Would that be the right? Behind Aaron Judge and a few of these other guys. So,
No,
I mean, he looks like a Jolly Gene Grind at the plate
Yeah,
there when he stands
yeah.
up there. So,
no, he's going to be a decent player. So they do have a decent
Until
farm
I-
club down there.
until they trade him.
Well, they needed, not that they needed to trade him, but they needed to do something at the trade deadline to fix their bullpen and to fix their starting pitching.
They didn't do it.
No. And Joan Duran has been pretty
Oh,
leaky
gee.
in the back end of that bullpen for somebody who can throw 102 miles an hour.
The only pitcher that's
So-
oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead and finish. and
I
I'll
was gonna say
tell
the
you.
only pitcher that looks good to me, in my eyes, has been Jax.
Mm-hmm.
So why not make him a reliever?
No,
I mean, he
is,
saved
though.
him. He saved him last night.
Well, I should probably be their closer, maybe.
Yeah.
So that would probably be the better place
Yeah.
to put him. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
140 years ago, in 1884, there was a canoe race on Lake Pippin, and somebody hollered, "Sky U Canoe,"
Oh,
something like that. So the slogan then ended up going "Sky U Ma" for some reason, and then it was used by the football team back then, and they just brought it back.
Mm.
So
So there we go.
Interesting.
It's supposed to mean victory.
Okay.
Sky U Ma.
Sky Yuma means victory.
Yep.
Started with a canoe race about 100 years ago.
Yep.
140.
140 years ago.
yep.
So there you go. Now
University
you
of
have,
Minnesota, been using it for a while.
you usually have a little bit of history.
Yeah.
There we
Boy,
go.
see, you learned something here.
And the Lynx, well, we'll get a few minutes. The Lynx are still doing very well.
Top team in the league right now, are they not?
Well, I think they're second behind New
Second?
York, maybe.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, they had what's her name was in town and played him last week, I think it
yeah,
was.
Caitlin Clark,
Caitlin
and they
Clark was
beat the
here?
Fever. So,
I
they're
think they've got the second best record.
Second best record.
record
Okay.
in the league. Well, here we are at the end of another show. For Mike Egan, I'm Gary Gimbetti. We'll see you again on
Thank you.
Home Team Advantage.
For over 25 years, U.S. Bank, located at 211 East Howard Street in Hibbing, Minnesota, has provided office and studio space for Hibbing Public Access Television. We are thankful for their ongoing support. Up North Lettering specializes in embroidery and heat vinyl press applications, along with patches and letter jackets. For more information, call them at 218-966-7850. HPAT would like to thank them for their donation and support. HPAT thanks Premier Fitness at the Lux for their donation and support. They welcome individual and family memberships. To learn more, call them at 218-440-1191. Security State Bank, located at 701 East Howard Street, is invested not only in Hibbing and its surrounding communities, but their customers as well. Experience relationship-based banking, superior customer service, and the pride that comes with reinvesting in our community. There's a difference.